Emily Mason Princess Pink Raccoon. Just finish that episode of the Doctor Who thing. Oh my god, those people are fucking dumb. They are just a perfect stand-in for Americans right now. They're going to kill you. Yeah, but you guys aren't cool enough to hang out with us, so we're not going to let you save our lives. Unreal. Unreal. So yeah. Season 3, Episode 15, Consequences. I barely remember Buffy's weird prophecy dreams, like at all. Whenever I see the series again, I just kind of, honestly, it's like everything's so obvious as it is that I don't need the prophecy dreams to tell me what's going on, you know? Dead Alan's getting to be a real problem, Nespa. Oh, Alan was the mayor's aide, right? That was why I wrote that. Yeah, it's oof. I was so I honestly, this whole series I was never gladder than when Giles tells Buffy, "Yeah, I know Faith is lying." It's like, oh god, thank goodness they're not all completely moronic, you know. Wesley's misapprehension about Cordy does make sense. The students are all clearly nearly 30 by this point. Yeesh. So yeah, I mean, he's not seeing an underage girl and being turned on. He's seeing someone in her 30s and being turned on. So on that level, but in context, yeah, clearly whoever it was that was creating this show has a fetish for underage people. Commander Wesley. No, shut up, Wesley. Is no one going to ask what Alan was doing skulking around in the alley in the middle of the night? Like, not like they do an investigation of it, like the cops or whatever in Sunnydale investigate it, but no one is like, yeah, is it not weird that the mayor's aide was like hanging out by a dumpster in a dark alley in the middle of the night while fights were going on around him? No one stops to ponder this at all. De-ratting Amy is a recurring joke, less funny with every viewing, to be honest. Yeah, I don't, because she doesn't get de-ratted ultimately until way later in the series. So I don't know if they were actually planning on bringing her back or if they were just making a joke in case they might end up wanting to at some point. But yeah, it's not very funny. Angel again. When will you die? Like the Smith or the Morrissey song, Margaret on the Guillotine. When will you die? Or go away for good anyway. Ugh. Slayer the murderer. Yeah, that'd be a funny something. Slayer colon the murderer. Faith fondling shit in Alan's office, leaving fingerprints everywhere. They're actively investigating the murder, and she is leaving evidence behind in the victim's office. And yet nothing ever is like mentioned about it. Like, you know, the cops never find him or anything. Bizarre. Ah, that's why they were there, to learn the mayor's evil. Clever girl? Question mark. Yeah, because like, you know, you kind of could go in with that assumption, I think, safely in a logical sense, when his maid is out there skulking around in the dark, watching you fight people, or fight vampires anyway. Faith, so desperate to ignore her way through the murder. It doesn't just happen. Buffy doesn't make mistakes. Oh, Slayer's supremacist Faith. You're not Magneto level, honey. Yeah. Slayers, as opposed to someone like Magneto or Jean Grey. would have a real problem if the system decided to target them. Random cops who exit so intermittently. I forget Sunnydale has laws. Willow's so wonderful. Haha. Faith thinks she's slick. Wesley, he's such a bitch schemer. Scooby's realizing Xander and Faith fucked is a funny scene. Oh. I had some like random thought about what it actually says about Xander, that Faith, because he does through the course of the series attract a lot of demons and evil people on many levels, you know? So the fact that Buffy never wanted to sleep with him is kind of weird. Like, and like, were they trying to make it this obvious that like he represents something beyond just a doofus who gets in the way a lot? I don't know. Xander Faith bit. Ugh, I don't know. The whole thing is very weird. Faith and Buffy debating the merits of fucking Xander in a previous episode counterindicates Faith having no feelings for him, as shown in this episode. But then Faith is a contradictory person in general. So, Angel ex machina again. Safety word? Isn't it safe word? I don't know. I think that was supposed to be a password joke. Show is remarkably prudish, really, and it's reflected in the slang. She's got a taste for it, huh? Yeah, I've seen plenty of analyses about how promiscuity and evil are conflated in right-wing circles of media. That's not misinformation. That is something that I've noticed and something that I have encountered in researching the kind of stuff that comes out of conservative circles. I am not misinforming anyone. I'm just saying this is something that I've noticed. Faith's heel turn is so contrived. The sexually promiscuous, wild, dark-haired slayer goes bad. Duh. So Angel's attempt to win her back is pointless. We've already kind of been through that with when she had the Gwendolyn for her watcher, right? She craves the evil. Watchers being watchers, i.e., inept and worthless, pompous, authoritarian nitwits. Doesn't remind me of anyone in our current government right now. Still going to debate the issue. Yeah. Go home, Wesley. You suck. Why is getting thrown in water the end of your fight? This happens several times in the course of the series. Apparently, getting wet ends your ability to enact violence on others, even in self-defense. Is Trick saying that thing about going back racist? It feels lib racist to me. I don't know. Again, another thing that I would have to ask, that if anyone ever does watch this and happens to be a person of color and watches this show, could tell me how they feel about Trick and how he is presented and characterized, and whether or not my concerns are inane. But yeah, that's a lot shorter than normal.